Imagine, Chaz v'shalom, someone comes up to you and he tells you, do you know that your rabbi is a stealer? A thief. Do you know that your rabbi is a thief? Chaz v'shalom. First reaction will be, Bar Minan, how are you talking? Right? That's not a, first of all, Lashon Hara, second of all, you never say such a thing about more and more, if this rabbi is not a regular rabbi, but we're talking about a Gadol Ador. In last week's parasha, Rabotai, there is a terrible, terrible midrash. Rashi quotes it. When the Torah writes, Ele pekudei ha-mishkan, mishkan ha'edut, say Chachamim, what's Ele pekudei? Moshe Rabbeinu gave a whole heshbon, a whole file to show up all the Bnei Israel that all the money that they gave him to build up the Mishkan, he used until the last penny. Writes the Midrash. Why he did so? Say the Midrash, because every time that Moshe Rabbeinu was leaving from the Mishkan to his house, there were people that were saying, oh, look at Moshe Rabbeinu, Ashrei Yoladeto, how great is his mother that he got such a great kid. Other people were saying, oh, you see this Moshe Rabbeinu, I see him a little bit more fat, no? And the other one was answering, of course, what do you think? He's managing all the money. What do you think? He's not going to take something for himself? Say the Midrash, Moshe Rabbeinu heard that, and he said, if the people are thinking that I am a stealer, I have and I must to show to everyone how did I manage all the money. Rabotai, how it's possible to think about Moshe Rabbeinu that he was a thief? How it's possible? Borei Olam is telling about Moshe Rabbeinu, Bechol beti ne'eman hu. In all my world, in all my house, he is the most righteous person. How come that the Jewish people were thinking bad about him? We're going to answer in a minute. But you know, every single person, we speak maybe the same language, but really, besides the language itself, we don't speak the same thing. Things that we understand, for sure my fellow doesn't understand them. I'm going to give an example. I can use the same question to different people, and every single person will understand differently. If I ask you guys, you're sitting here in the shiur, and then asking you, do you have a chair? What are you thinking? Of course I'm having a chair, I'm sitting on it, right? But if I go to a Nagad, how you say Nagad in English? Nagad, it's a guy that, carpintero, help me out. Carpenter, thank you. That's so hard. A carpenter. And I ask him the same question, do you have a chair? What's going to be his answer? Listen, I have to see the stock. Not sure if I have the same model. I have a new one, just came out. But it's the same question. Everything is depending not only in the one that is saying the things, but also in the one that is hearing. Each one of us lives in another world. According to your education, your parents, your family, your friends, your school, your community. And each one of us can understand same phrases in a different way. To understand the differences, there's a great story about the father of Rav Chaim Kanievsky. His father was called the Stipler. And one day, they were looking for Aravot before Sukkot. So he went together with his son, Rav Chaim Kanievsky was a young fellow. So they went to a park, it's called the Yarkon. Next to there is a river. And they were walking. They were picking up, thank you, they were picking up some aravot. And all of a sudden, the Stipler starts to scream and yell, Chaim, Chaim, come fast. His son of Chaim runs. What happened, Abba? What happened? He sees, and the disciple points with his finger next to the river, and he says, Chaim, this is Biroka shel penei hamayim. What are you talking about? There is a Mishnah. We said this Mishnah every Shabbat. Bameh madlikin, bameh madlikin. And we're saying that we should not light Biroka shel penei hamayim. Biroka shel penei hamayim is a certain herb. Herb? Yeah? That is in the water. You should not light with that herb the candles of Shabbat. Why not? Because it's not catching with the fire. So the discipler was walking on the park, and what he was looking Mishnayot. He found the Yeroka shel penei hamayim. Believe me, I went to this park many times. And if it's not that park, many other parks. And I never saw Yeroka shel penei hamayim. Believe me. Right? But there are people that their mind are focusing one thing, and others that the mind are totally focusing on another thing. The Gemara writes, there was a rabbi by name Rabbi Yoshua ben Perachia. Some says that he was the rabbi of Yeshu, Yimach Shemo v'Zichro. Right? And there is a story. They say that this story is about Yeshu. Some are saying that it's not the same guy. Anyway, Rabbi Yoshua ben Perachia was traveling with his student, this guy, and they were hosted by a lady. They finish up the time that they were supposed to be there, and the rabbi said to his student, says, "Ma na'ach saniya zot." How great and how beautiful is this place, this hosting place. The student looked at the rabbi and he says, "Nah, Rabbi, come on. This is beautiful. You didn't saw the eyes of the lady. And terutot. Her eyes are not nice." The rabbi looked at the student. "You're majnun. I'm talking about the hosting and you're telling me about the lady that hosts us? What do you think? I'm looking at ladies?" And he sent him out. And there is a whole story that continues on over there. Rabotai, how it's possible that this student thought that his rabbi meant to say about the lady that hosted? I mean, maybe you're not in that level and you're watching bad things. It's your problem. You're going to think that your great rabbi is going to be watching whatever you... The answer is, there's a beautiful mashal that Rabbi Yisrael brings. It says, the Gemara writes, "Im rishonim kemalachim." If the great first tzaddikim in the first generations, they are like angels, Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak, Moshe, they are like angels. Anachnu kebnei Adam. We are like human beings. But if rishonim kebnei Adam, anachnu kahamorim. That's how the Gemara writes. If the first ones are like human beings, Habibi, we are like donkeys. So there was a rabbi that used to say, you're standing in front of a donkey. Why do you think the donkey, when he sees you, what do you think he thinks? I'm going to tell you, said the rabbi. The donkey thinks, oh, this fellow that is in front of me, he's a super donkey. Super donkey. He's able to walk in two legs, right? He's able to run. He's able to create things. He's a super donkey. So they asked the rabbi, how do you know that that's what the donkeys think? So very simple. Because if I ask you, what is an angel? You know what's going to be your answer usually? Oh, an angel is something, he can fly. He can go from side to side. He can towards Superman. Right? But the reason why we believe that an angel is Superman, because we think that an angel is like us, just much more power. An angel is not Superman. It's something else. But in our mind, we're locked that the maximum is a human being. That's all what we know. So there is a Superman that is on top a little bit. Rabotai, going back to the first question. We ask how it's possible that people thought bad about Moshe Rabbeinu. You know what's the answer? Unfortunately, we're so limited in things that people are telling us, how they educate us, that we cannot believe something else about someone else. How a guy came up to me, I was telling him about a great tzaddik, and I told him, listen, look this yeshiva that he built it. And he said, wow. And how much he took to himself? I said, what do you mean how much he took to himself? Nothing. Nah, come on, Rabbi. Don't come with a guy that is building such a great yeshiva. Have to take something. What happened? Could be that really the rabbi didn't take a penny. But the guy that hears that is not asking about the rabbi. He's asking, it's not possible for my understanding, because if it was him, I was taking money. So yes, there were people that they were watching Moshe Rabbeinu going out from the Mishkan, and they were thinking, it's impossible that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do something. Why? Because they saw themselves, if I was Moshe Rabbeinu, I was filling up my pockets with plenty of gold. What is the message, Rabotai? The message is how important it is to clean up our minds. When you see something about someone else, take out all the concepts that you have already, learned throughout the years, and clean up a little bit your mind. Try to think positive. But do you think it's impossible? Okay, there are things that we cannot understand them, that are about our understanding, but still can happen. That's our obligation, to look for the right things, to try to judge for good. And a person who is judging for good, then Borei Olam is judging him for good as well. The Gemara writes, especially we said that before, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, before being judged, says the Gemara, a person who is trying to be ma'aviran midotav, someone is making something bad to you, and you decide, you know what, he's wrong, and for sure he's bad, and I deserve to pay him back. And he controls himself. At that same second that you were able to forgive, or to think even positive about that fellow, at that same second, Borei Olam automatically is erasing all the account of the negative actions that you have done throughout your life. Why? You know why? Because in Shamayim, about every single action bad that we did, we can look at it in two ways. Very bad that he did it, or Hazit. He didn't know. He tried. It was hard for him. Yetzer Hara too strong. In Shamayim, which way they're going to choose? Are they going to choose the way of very bad and yalla tfaddal punishment? Or are they going to choose the way, you know what, really, poor guy, the Yetzer Hara was so strong? The answer is, the same way that you think and act regarding to others, Borei Olam is going to act and accept regarding to you. So Rabotai, next time that we have something, any type of fights, someone is doing something bad to you, instead of looking at it as a problem, look at it as an opportunity for you to be able to forgive all your averot. Doesn't happen every moment. If you're having right now a certain situation and someone is making something bad to you, look at it as a great opportunity that you have right now to think positive about this guy, and Borei Olam for sure is going to think positive about you as well. Just to finish up. Chafetz Chaim, alav shalom, got married a few times. And the Chafetz Chaim had a very, very difficult life. Very poor. He was, mistapek b'muat. They say that one time he was hosted in a Shabbat table together with another rabbi by a Baal Bayit, a guy that had, Baruch Hashem, good parnasa. They brought the soup, and the rabbi, not the Hafez Chaim, the other one, was tasting the soup. Both of them, they were eating it. So the Baal Bayit, the host, asked them, how is the soup? And the rabbi, not the Hafez Chaim, the other one, says it's very good, but it's a little bit salty. The Hafez Chaim heard that. He started to shake. He didn't know where to put himself. And the rabbi realized that the Hafez Chaim is uncomfortable. So he waited. He waited till the Baal Bayit will go, will go up from the table. Rabbi, what happened? And the rabbi said, can you imagine what you just did? You just caused a terrible isur, one after the other. So what are you talking about? I just said that it was a little bit salty. Yes. Listen what happened. Listen what can come only from those words that you just said. The Baal Bayit probably heard that. He's going to say to his wife that the soup is salted. Not a little bit, it's salted. And therefore what? He increased the Lashon Hara. The wife, she's going to protect herself. She's going to say, it's not me. It was the maid. The maid was a Jew. It's going to be a Lashon Hara for the maid. And then the maid is going to try to protect herself. She's going to say, no, I didn't put salt. And you cause her to lie. And then the Baalat Habayit, she's going to hear that, and she's going to fight against her. And you cause a machloket. And in one sentence that he just said, the rabbi, the Chafetz Chaim, showed to the rabbi how he was able to be oved about 5 isurim from the Torah. How the rabbi got totally in shock. Say, Chacham, I didn't even realize. Mechila, mechila. He entered to the kitchen. The rabbi stood up. He entered to the kitchen, and he saw the maid crying. So, ya haram. The rabbi was right. Really, the story was, at the end of the day, the whole story didn't happen. But one part of the story did happen. What was? That the lady, the owner of the house, asked her, did you put more salt? And she felt so embarrassed, she started to cry. Over here stops the whole story. When he came back, the Chafetz Chaim saying, you see, Baruch Hashem, in your case, you did only 2 averot. You did Lashon Hara, and you did Albanat Panim. You caused someone else to get embarrassed. Instead of thinking what I just did, just say a word. Start to think how powerful are our words. When a person thinks positive, he will talk positive. When a person thinks negative, then Chas Shalom, terrible things can happen. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'Amen. Rabbi Haneh ben Akasham, Baruch Hu, 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 Baruch Hu,